Welcome to the Cooking with Carter equipment series. I'm DJ Carter, happy to have you with us today. We're going to feature three different pieces of equipment. The two behind me are the blender and the toaster oven. And this one that we have in front of us is the newest piece of equipment on the equipment series. It is the George Foreman Elite Grill. One of the first things that I want to mention about this is there are no temperature controls anywhere on the grill. This grill basically runs off of a time chart. There is an indicator light here on the front of the grill, which will light up until the grill is heated, and then it will turn off when the grill is done heating up. As far as cooking the meat is concerned, the time chart that I mentioned earlier is going to come into play here. You can go by that. It's really simple. It heats up to a normal temperature, cuts off. If you're unhappy with or worried about the time chart, you can just go out and get a meat thermometer pretty much anywhere. Any local grocer sells them. I want to show this in its closed position first. And you can see this actually has kind of a lip underneath the grill here. And I'm just going to lift it up.
I don't know if y'all can tell or not, but it's pretty wide. It's pretty big.
Yeah, this is the deluxe model. Believe it or not, they have one that is bigger than this, but I don't know if I'd be able to carry it, honestly. I'd have to get a U-Haul just to get it in here. So what I want you to notice about this is that this grill, the grids that are inside of it are slanted down. And that basically is so that the grease can fall into this. Now what I'm going to do, this is the grease trap, and I'm going to sit the grease trap down, and I'm going to turn the grill to the side so that you can actually kind of see how the grease trap fits. It just kind of sits in there and it runs off, and when it collects and hits these, it slants down, and you'll see when it hits these little ridges, it'll actually build up and slowly drip right into the grease tray. The grease tray is a hard plastic. This is dishwasher safe. This you can put in the dishwasher. Unfortunately, the grill, is not. You can cook pretty much anything in this. You can cook steak, you can cook burgers, pork chops, deer, rabbit, I mean anything you want to cook. It's actually one of the best things about it, and I'm going to show this from the side first. You're going to notice that this will tilt. Okay, and it tilts from both directions. And the reason for that is it has a give, or it has space allowance for when you close it down, it doesn't crush the item that you're deciding to cook. Now, one of the things you want to watch out for when you open and close this, don't grab it from the side, because what will happen when it gets here, it will land on my thumb, which is not what I want. Okay?
It's very tough of you.
And it's a well-built grill. It's very, but it doesn't weigh a lot, but it's very sturdy. So what I do, I take one hand, keep my thumb back, and it won't pull out of my hand. I'm just going to let the weight come down and close it just like that. Clean up is a snap. I'm going to open it back up here for you. Use one finger to open and close it. It's really simple. Damp cloth, damp sponge, warm soap and water. Right after you're done. Don't wait. Let this get it quick. That way you can get it clean pretty easily. It's a great piece of equipment to have in the kitchen. Thank you, Santa, for that. It was a wonderful gift for Christmas. We plan to use this a lot on Cooking with Carter coming up in several episodes. So, we'll come back in just a minute with our second piece of equipment. We'll see you in just a bit. Hello and welcome back. Our second piece of equipment today is our blender. Now, I have the blender fully disassembled, and I want to show you how to reassemble that. I want to talk about each piece first. This, of course, is the container that holds your liquid or whatever, drink or smoothie or anything that you're blending up. It does measure in liters. Okay, I'm going to turn this over. This is all of this is dishwasher safe except for the base that everything sits on. Now, this, of course, is the stainless steel blade. Okay, this is very sharp. Be very careful. Notice when I'm turning it, I'm pressing on the side with my thumb, not the edge. But this will spin, Okay, it does not spin this fast because it's connected and actually screwed in to the bottom of the base. Now I'm going to show you. This is also dishwasher safe. You can put it in. What I'm going to do, when you go to put this on, you just line it up, and you're basically just putting on a cap. You make sure that that's tight. Okay, sits on just like that, and I'll bring this up. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is sit this on the base, and you can actually feel when it clicks into place. Okay, now this will not, it will move a little bit, have a little bit of give to it. Okay, but that is assembled just like that, and of course this is the top. You can take this little plastic piece out. You can put directly, put anything you want to put in there directly into the blender, or you can keep the plastic piece on. Take the lid on, take the lid off, put the lid on. Just goes in there, just like that. Just a plastic, flimsy little piece that goes in. Okay. Now, one of the things that's different, and I want to bring another item into focus here. On the last episode of the equipment series, the Ninja is what we featured. Okay, notice the difference in the blade styles. This is a multi-purpose machine. The Ninja, as I covered last week, does quite a bit. It pulses, it chops, it does almost everything. You can do almost anything. This is a blender, okay? This does a lot, but it has one multi-purpose blade. Okay, now what I'm going to do, we're going to move the Ninja over, and I'm going to turn this to the side. Okay. This has two speeds, low and high. Okay, you've got off, you've got pulse, you've got grate, you've got blend, you've got shred, you've got grind, liquefy, and ice crush. Those on the top are for the high speed settings. On the bottom, you have pulse, you have easy clean, you have puree, you have cream, chop, whip, and mix. And I'm going to spin that back around so Max can actually get a clear shot of all the different functions that it has. Now, the ones on the bottom, on the gray side, those are for the low speed. The ones on the top with the blue, that is for the high speed. The only problem with this is that this motor in this blender can get tired very quickly. So you have to watch how much ingredient or how much you're putting into it, and it's a good idea to pulse this slowly so that it doesn't wear out the motor. I've actually had this blender for about 4 years. It's a good blender. It's a good make. So that's our blender. Cleanup is really simple. You just disassemble it the same way. This basically will come right back out. You turn it over. Unscrew the blade. One blade versus two. These blades on the Ninja will interlock. Remember last week I talked about the interlocking position. This has no interlock. It does have the two blades on the top, which are your primary, and the two blades on the bottom, which are your secondary. So that's our blender. We'll be right back with our final piece of equipment on the Cooking with Carter equipment series. We'll see you in just a few. And welcome back. We have our last piece of equipment to show on the Cooking with Carter equipment series. This is your standard toaster oven. There's a couple of unique things about this I want to show you from the frontal view first, and let the camera just kind of zoom in on some of its features. The dial, which has the temperature mode, can be turned, and it can actually be forced back if it needs to, so you don't have to set it into one mode. It does have a timer on it. It is electric, so you would plug it in. The cord's in the back here. Let me rotate it to the side for you. Okay, what happens is course, this is your open point. Now, what's really cool is that it brings the tray, and I'm actually going to turn this a little bit so we can see inside. It brings the tray out, and you can pull the tray out yourself to where it eventually will slide down, and the food can come right out. I have a little pot holder that I can use for this. Push it back in, and it has a spring-loaded mechanism which closes it back up. Now the cool thing about these is, I'm gonna again, it has the indicator light just like on some of the other things, as far as that's concerned. So, and you will hear it when you turn it on. The top one here is going to be your temperature mode. You can set it on bake, broil, toast, 250, 350, or 150. Your bottom, it can actually stay on, or you can set it for dark, light, medium, 5, 10, or 15. So you have a bottom layer and you have a top layer. You can set it to temperature here, and you can have it toast or broil down the bottom here. This is actually very, very old. I've had this for about probably 7 years or so. I use it for everything: pizzas, TV dinners, tater tots, hash browns, cheese toast, bagels. It's a wonderful little piece of machinery. Cleanup is pretty easy. I will tell you, you don't want to let this sit, because if you let this sit, it will gather quite a bit. When we pulled it back from the corner, I haven't used it in probably a year and a half. We had noticed, and I'll show you, I have a mat that sits on top here, and one time we had it on, and what had happened, it got so hot up here that the glue from the mat actually melted onto the top of the toaster oven. So we were able to clean that with a cleaning product and a little scraping, a little wiping, a little more scraping, and a lot more wiping, but we did get it clean.
30 minutes later.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things that it's a tedious job, but this right here is a good piece of equipment. These are relatively expensive. If you can catch them on sale, grab them, because they are a lifesaver to have. I'll tell you one of my favorite dishes to do in here. There's an item on the market. There's toaster strudel is what it's called, and also the toaster strudel makes a breakfast toaster basically that can go in here, and there's a little tray. And I'll be honest, the chef lost the tray. I did. I lost the tray. I believe I have one that'll fit it in the oven. But the cool thing about it is, going back to open this up, the tray will sit in here. When this pulls, the tray will come out to here, to the end of the lip, and stop. I can just lift that out, set it down. Now, I don't use the tray because, honestly, I find it annoying, as my in-laws. But, really, I can do a microwavable pizza in here in about 12 minutes. And to me, I like, the microwave is okay, but I don't use the microwave for a lot of things. Because microwaves, unless it's a convectional microwave that has the cooking all the way around, the full temperature cooking, microwaves tend to dry out your food because they radiate it. It doesn't cook properly. In something like this, you have full thermal cooking where it goes all the way around. So that's a really cool, neat thing to use. Just wipe off your glass with any kind of cleaning surface. Make sure that you are cleaning product. Make sure that you let this dry really well when you clean it. Don't set anything up here that has a sticky substance or anything that could possibly melt. The top of this gets very hot. If you see smoke coming from this, it's okay. It will smoke just a little bit. It's just like a miniature oven. It will do that. You just need to clean it and make sure your tray does come all the way out. You can lift the tray off. Tray is easy to put back in.
When you're looking?
Yeah, I'm doing it from the side. Sorry. Hang on.
Well, it goes in one way or another.
There you go. And that's the end of that. So, I do hope that you have enjoyed this episode of the Cooking with Carter Equipment Series. We're going to be back next week with the regular Cooking with Carter show. Glad to have you. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to tune in again where the meals we make are worth the wait. We'll see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.